I'd like a glass of wine since it's my
No,
horse
thank
now.
you.
You know,
I don't
have
drink
to-
alcohol, but thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure.
You can enjoy, but, okay, so how old is 4-Point?
Fort Point is 12 years.
Okay, and how long have you had him hurt? Didn't look at the underwear?
I had him since he was 4 years old.
Okay, great, okay. Okay, so, oh boy, okay, so he said you rescued him. He felt like he was rescued. And he's like, he would do anything for you, and I'm getting emotional because he's going to start making me cry. Because he really didn't think that anybody was going to love him as much as you did. Oh, now there's 2 today. Bad enough I had 1, but now I got a second one. So, I mean, he would do anything for you.
And Tony would do anything for him.
Yes, definitely.
That's been tested.
Wow, because he said he had some guy that was really very nasty to him before. And this is a horse that would do anything for anybody. Sorry, you guys, I can't stop it. Once it starts, it's going to take me a minute. Glad you were the last one of the day and not the first one of the day. Wow, okay, so he needs to be adjusted. Have you had him adjusted?
No.
He's got some issues in his hindquarters, and he said you know what they are, but he's like, I'm tired of being stiff. I want to be more flexible. He said there are times you can hear one of his hocks pop. And, you know, so he said we need that. So I think it would be really good just to have someone do some body work. So if Nina calls somebody out, have someone work for him. Because he would never complain, ever. I mean, if you told him he had to live on air and dust, he would do that. So, and then he said in the past he would have asked me if you had money for this, but he goes, we're not on a budget anymore. He said, but we had like next to no money, and he said you always put him first, so he really appreciates it. So, and you have 2 other horses around you that have crossed over that still protect this property, so I don't know who they are. But he said if someone has to leave, but he said I know who they are, and he feels just as reverent to them as he does to you. So that's really important. He likes Toby. He thinks Toby's a pretty cool dude, wherever Toby is. And he said,
he's like, I'm right here.
Toby's back in his stall. And he said, I always check in with him because he knows everything that's going on in this barn. So he said, I always talk to him. So he said he's still curious about going to see foals. If there's ever a baby, he wants to go see it. He also would like to chase cows. He thinks it would be fun one time if you guys go into it. So he said, yeah, we'll go in there and tell him what to do. Because, you know, a lot of horses, when they're born, they know exactly what their life is going to be. He said, I had no clue. And he said, in another lifetime, he was a racehorse. And he said, and I didn't want to do that this time. So, and before you got him, he was in a trailer accident with another horse. And he said the whole thing fishtailed, and someone probably cut in front of him. And he said, I almost died. The other horse almost died. He said, so now he looks at a trailer and he's like, oh man, it's like the elevator that's going to go out of control. So he gets worried about that. He's happy to be barefoot, so thank God for that. He also has a lot of adhesions. Are you doing a psyllium cleanse with him once a month? Make sure you do, because he's got lots of scar tissue down here from in the past. Because there was a time where he said, they were like starving me. I wasn't getting any food at all. He was like a coat rack, so that's really bad. So I asked him about his equipment, and he goes, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm okay with that. So. And does he teach lessons occasionally to really senior, because he said it's not walk trot, but like the senior kids or people that
jumping.
He said I was okay with that, but he kind of feels like now he's kind of being retired and he likes being your emotional therapy, so that's important. And I think this was with you. He said one time you were out on a trail ride and you had to kind of start ponying someone because their horse freaked out. He goes, I would do that for you. I'm fine with that. So okay. So what kind of things would you like to ask him? What kind of worries or concerns? Or
Well, how does he feel right now?
He's got some issues in his mouth unless you just had his teeth done. Because he's got stuff going on the side of his mouth. So he's talking about hooks and things like that. So that was the first thing he wanted to talk about. And he's got really small kidneys, so you really have to watch the heat with him. Really small. So, okay. He just feels like he's energetically out of balance too. Okay, come forward. I want you to scare yourself. Okay, just arthritis, things like that. I mean, I think, you know, it's like any good car. At this point, I think you got to do a couple more things for him that he needs to have done. That's basically what he was talking about, is getting an adjustment, maybe putting him on some different supplements, things like that. And his right hock, if you haven't had it injected after you've had him worked on, he might need to have that one injected, because he said of the two of them, that's the one that bothers him the most. So,
What does that mean, energetically out of balance?
well, it just feels like he needs some Geritol. Like he needs some supplements. He needs to have the energy flowing in his hindquarters by having an adjustment, loosening up all that tension and, that kind of stuff. Because this is a power place. That's why he's a little agitated. Okay, all right. We're not going to do anything to you. This is where people get adjusted all the time in their lower back. And all animals hold that. That's a performance point. So right now he's kind of holding himself. And he wants to be more fluid. And, he's like, when I have the opportunity where he has time to ride me, I want to be able to enjoy myself. So, and I keep seeing him trying to turn to the left and feeling like he has to overcompensate all the time. He's crossing his leg and that kind of thing to try to balance his hips out. So I think some body work would really help him. And he was just asking me, he's like, well, yeah, he's like, who's going to do it? And I said, whoever does it, you can watch. Maybe, when Nina's horse gets worked on first, you can stand here, because he's very skeptical of a lot of things. He wants to see it first and, see what's going on. And he said, my dad always explains everything to me, so I know what's happening, and, that kind of stuff. He's like, it's just me and my dad. So, oh, interesting. Okay, so he said he'd come over for some. Okay, so now he's asking for some Reiki, because I said, let's get rid of some of this, because this is old stuff. And a lot of times the first time they get adjusted, it's very powerful, because all that trauma comes up to the surface. So he's like, well, he said, yes. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'll just put my hand on you and give you some Reiki. He goes, let's do it now. Okay, if you only need a little bit, that's fine. He's saying, why can't you do it? I'm not a chiropractor. That's not my skill. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't do that. So, okay. Also, he said he's gotten swollen here before because he's had strangles. So that was the other thing he was talking about when we were talking about Lyme's disease with Nina's horse and stuff. So there are times where he doesn't want to totally drop his head like this, and he'll put his head like that because those glands get swollen.
Does
So
he do that?
I had mono when I was in high school, and so there are times where if I start to get a cold, I can feel them start to swell, and so I don't think his has ever really gone down. So like
This is because of cribbing. He does a lot of cribbing.
well, and that doesn't help matters either, and I wish I could tell him not to do that. But moreover, there are times where this feels like, so a good vitamin C supplement will help. Again, we live in California, but they don't process enough vitamin C. So any like 3,000 milligrams of ester C for horses or something like that. Just a couple of little things with him, I think will really bring him back. Because he's been kind of like, I'm just coping with it. And now he just needs a few things to be done. So.
Well, he just came out of a big surgery.
Yeah, but that is past now. He's like, I'm
It's like-
rehabbing myself. So that has definitely passed. As much as that was a big deal.
Had like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Actually, he had
Yeah.
a big surgery,
Yeah.
colic surgery that
Yeah. Did
his
they find a
intestine-
stone? Did they take a
No,
stone
it
out?
was
Okay.
he had a hernia and
Oh,
his
okay.
stomach, his intestines fall inside
Oh,
of the
wow.
hernia.
Intussusception. Okay.
So they took 18
I bet.
feet of his
Intestine
intestines out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was actually a ex racehorse that he won $1.2 million in the
I bet.
racetrack,
I bet.
and
Is that why he swims?
then he kind of stopped, and he wasn't even moving forward. So I rescued him, and he came to me, and then he was teaching all the kids
yeah.
after a while.
Yeah. So the adhesion just
And then he
got
was
worse.
tired. He didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Is that why
Yeah.
he like
So we
swims? 'Cause he was a
changed.
racehorse? He
Yeah.
likes to
Yeah.
But he's an awesome horse.
And it feels like where the hernia was because some guy actually went and kicked him up underneath his belly a long time ago, and that made a scar, and then it tore. So yeah, because he did say he
Yeah,
had
he
surgery, but he's
didn't-
like, I'm past that now. So
When he came over here, he used to attack horses and people, and
not a happy
yet
camper.
he became one of the nicest horses. And my daughter actually showed him,
Cool.
and
Awesome.
it was awesome.
So he's telling you he doesn't have any complications
No, that
from
all
his
feels
surgery.
good.
It's
I mean,
more
as much
energetic
as that was a
balance.
huge thing, he's like, I'm past that now. Now it's just rebuilding my health. So that's good.
I haven't been riding him for the last 4 months.
Yeah, you're just taking your time with
Yeah.
him. He's healing, but he's feeling so much better. I mean, when they get an intussusception like that, because I was a surgical nurse, I mean, yeah, that's incredibly painful. So it was time to do something. Yeah, he'd like
Does
to
he
go
like
back
to
do
jump
it.
again?
Yeah, he enjoys. He's the
He
one that
loves-
goes wee you know.
That's jumping. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going. The license plate, get on, shut up, and hold on. You know, so he's all over that. So he's definitely coming back now. So, what a sweet boy you are. Yeah. He said recently I actually rolled. I wasn't sure if I could do that, but now I can. So yeah, no.
Christina, you have any questions? One question in your mind.
He said, I require one kiss a day from you when you're here.
Aww.
Because he said, that's what I really like. Because
Yeah,
you're like
you
the
get a
first
kiss.
person that really kissed him. So first time he did it, the other person like, dude, that's a good thing. He's like, really? And he's like, yeah, that's good. Okay. So he likes getting kissed.
He does like to give him
He's a
kisses.
sweet boy. Yes, you are.
Can
He
you
does a
ask
lot
him-
of weaving also.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff, you know,
That's-
the cribbing, the same thing. I'm sure you've read all the articles. It's just
Yeah.
that, you know, it's an endorphin rush from them, and so that's what they're going to do. That's just how it goes. So.
And I put at the beginning some cribbing collars on him, but then I thought that's
Yeah,
kind
my
of
first was
inhuman,
cribbed.
you know.
My
So
first horse cribbed, and now they've seen all the results that it really doesn't make any difference. And my horse would like eat, and then he'd have to smoke twice, and he was done. You know, some of them do it all nonstop, but yeah, it's just they've learned how.
keeping
to do
him busy, he's the
Yes.
happiest guy.
Is he happy where his stall is now?
He said, I have a better view. He said, yes, I'm happier. I like to see out and see what's going on. So yeah, he's happier where he's at now.
Will he tell you why he stopped at the gate when he was racing?
He said, because I had it,
Oh.
and he was hurting, you know, and they just, you know, I mean, Beard just talked to Secretariat years ago, the lady that trained me, and he was miserable in the breeding shed. He wanted to go back to running. And now we know that he's a genetic mutant because his heart was a third size larger. It's on display at the Smithsonian of all things. And I've met some of his kids, and they're stupid. They're like, "Oh, whatever, you know. Like, just because, so he said it was just ridiculous. And that's where he got kicked up underneath the belly by some guy. So he had that hernia, and it really hurt. So,
Well, you know when you tighten the girth, sometimes he
He's
gets
kind of good.
he
snippy.
gets cinchy too.
Yeah, he's kind of cinchy.
Okay, so did you see how I helped the other gal how to clear that? So your hand runs down here. This is a vagus vein and nerve. So your hand just kind of stops right here, just and then you do very small circles here. And by holding him here, and he can move around if he needs to. You just do gentle pressure, and go walk with him and see how he's licking his lips. So we're releasing tension, and a little at a time. And by holding here, they can accept it a lot better. And then just wait. It's okay, good boy. It's old stuff. I know it's old stuff. Good boy. Yes, thank you for
Is that a tapping or a Reiki?
no, this is just acupressure. Actually.
Acupressure,
Yeah.
okay.
Good question. Now. So, and then you can start putting a little bit more pressure. Come forward. Good boy. Oh, you're so good. I'm gonna rub you a little bit up here. That feels good. And then come back. Good boy. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Was he as bad as Dooley? Was he as bad as Dooley?
Oh, he's getting so much better. Yeah, he was really bad. As far as,
Good boy.
as far as
What does that do?
So that's the
girth,
best way
he
to
was
clear
really
that.
bad.
Releases pressure and sends endorphins, like
Yeah,
makes
it's
him
But
happy.
he actually,
so that when he gets
when he
touched there,
stopped
he'll remember the
racing,
happiness.
they put him on $25,000 claimer race,
Right.
and he came out of the gate and he got first place again. You know, and then after that, they couldn't even get him out of the gate. When he came to me, he was bones.
I bet, yeah.
That's what it was.
He said they were taking my food away.
And then he was bones 3 months ago again.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
but he's starting to come
He's
back.
coming
now.
back.
I mean, he
Yeah.
certainly can feel everybody's support and love for him, and so he's turning back on. He's feeling better. Oh, that's a good spot, huh? Oh my goodness. Well, he said to me, "Sorry, I made you cry." I said, "It's okay. It's what I do." I said, "I'm okay about being vulnerable. It's really all right if it makes you feel better." Okay, he says, "I had to tell my dad how much I cared for him." I said, "Yes, well, he knows now. Yeah, he knows now." So you're gonna come back better than ever. He said, "Everybody better
he's-
start taking
What
their
you asked
Geritol."
Do you
He's gonna win a race
do
pretty
you
soon.
suggest certain supplements for him as well?
Definitely ester C, and I would definitely look into, you know, doing like.
I'll give him next level.
Good. Okay.
Is that
Yep.
good?
Yep.
But
that
I
too.
stopped to giving him next level because I'm not working as
Right,
much
right. Once he starts
with
getting
him.
back in again.
But he gets a lot of supplements
Good,
and
good.
So Esther
know.
C. and
yeah,
what
Esther
else?
C, and I think just a good chiropractic adjustment, I think would help him now.
Okay. Does he need any kind of milk thistle or anything else for his
Not
kidneys?
so much for liver. He's actually
Liver.
cleared a lot of this stuff out pretty good.
Okay,
So, yeah, that's a
okay.
good question to ask also. He feels pretty good that way.
Should I start riding him a little bit more?
He said
Last
little
time
bit, but see what
last
your vet
time
says
that I
too.
ride him, he was a little bit wobbly actually. So I just walking him
Yeah,
around.
I think so. I mean, if your vet's cleared you for that, I think he's okay
Yeah.
with that, you know. Like he said, he only just really rolled the other day because he felt like he could do it without, hurting himself. So.
Yeah, he kicked the fence also. Tell him I'm going to charge him for it.
Put the board down, okay. Felt a little bit too good there, buddy, huh? Yeah. What a sweet boy you are. All right, big man. An eight handsome man.
Love you.
So I appreciate all of it. So, okay. Well, you did pretty good. You let go of a lot of stuff. We didn't have a couch for you, but you stood up and took it like a man. So good for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, look at it. He says yes.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
his surgery was 7 hours.
I bet.
Actually,
I bet,
he
I
had
bet.
one of the toughest surgeries.
I bet. Yeah. But he just knew everybody was pulling from. So he knows everything about it.
Toby or Bo. I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Back.
Come over this way.
There's a shovel back there.
We don't just drink something. It's getting close to supper time. We don't want you to miss your dinner. It's like, come on, I know the dinner bell's ringing. Dooley got dinner already. What's the deal here?
Yeah. She's coming
Dooley's
back.
always
I bet she's
eating.
gotta go to Lydia's house, too.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for a little while. I had my cocktail and my wine and cheese. I'm good.
Yeah, we're gonna go have a beer with
One under you.